For watch enthusiasts, owning a Rolex timepiece is often considered the pinnacle of horological achievement. However, the road to acquiring a Rolex is paved with patience, persistence, and a keen understanding of the mysterious Rolex waiting list. Today, we'd like to do something, share something. We will unravel the enigma behind the Rolex waiting list, decode its intricacies, and provide you with the practical tips on how to navigate this challenging journey successfully. Folks, one thing you must know is that the whole Rolex waiting list thing isn't as straightforward as it sounds. It's more like an interest list rather than a genuine first-come, first-served waiting game. And here's the kicker. There's no big official Rolex waiting list that oversees it all. No, it's all at the store level. Each store decides how they handle their list, or if they even have one in the first place. So, if you're wondering how to skip the wait, your best bet is to be a loyal customer at your local Rolex store. You see, these Rolex dealers, they're like any other regular businesses. They love repeat customers, and it's entirely up to them how they dole out those watches when the demand from eager customers goes wild and exceeds their supply. Now, let's talk 2023. What's the Rolex waiting list situation like this year? Well, the hottest Rolexes are still like gold dust, hard to find. There's a glimmer of hope. It seems like we might be heading back to a bit of normalcy. Demand is still sky high, but the frenzy of the past years might be easing up just a tad. In simpler terms, if you want that Rolex on your wrist sooner, cozy up to your neighborhood Rolex dealer. Stay cool, stay engaged, and who knows, that Rolex might find its way to you sooner than you think. Now, let's really put things into context by explaining the origins of the Rolex waiting list situation. Then we'll look at how it works, and if and where lists exist, and hopefully how you can use them. Are you ready? Back in the 1990s, you could stroll into a Rolex store and snag a steel Datejust or a Rolex Submariner no date at the regular price, and sometimes even with a discount. Believe it or not, apart from steel Daytonas and the ceramic Pepsi released in 2018, most Rolex models were quite easy to find until 2019. But then, things took a turn. The demand for Rolex watches started skyrocketing, surpassing the supply. So, you might wonder, how do you land on that coveted Rolex waiting list? Well, getting on the waiting list isn't a Herculean task, but there are no guarantees about when or if your dream Rolex will ever be available. Here's the deal. Rolex dealers usually don't take orders over the phone unless you're a familiar face. It all begins with a simple act. Walking into the store and stating what you're after. Rolex strongly urges its dealers to prioritize local customers, so your best bet? Start with the authorized dealer closest to your home. Let's dive deeper into the nitty-gritty. It's not just about luck. There's an art to beating the notorious Rolex waiting list. Let us break it down for you. Tip number 1. Be a pleasant customer. Here's a life tip that also applies to cracking the Rolex waiting list code. Just be nice. It's basic, right? No one's going to help you out if you're being a jerk, especially when it comes to getting your hands on that coveted Rolex sports model. Rolex authorized dealers have the authority to handpick who gets their dream Rolex. And surprise, surprise, it's not going to be someone they don't like. Think about it. Would you do a favor for someone unpleasant? We bet not. So when you step into that Rolex store, channel your inner charm. Be the person they like, someone they can relate to. If you're really serious about snagging that Rolex at retail price, maybe brush up on some body language and behavior basics to make people warm up to you. Find a Rolex sales representative you click with, someone you can build a genuine rapport with. And guess what? That leads us nicely to our second tip. Tip number 2. Form a genuine connection. Now, this goes hand in hand with being nice. When you visit the store, make it a point to connect with the same sales rep every time. It's not just about watches. Sure, you'll start there, but as time goes on, talk about other things too. Family, hobbies, interests, the whole shebang. Don't dive in too fast though, let the conversation flow naturally. Be genuine, don't come off as creepy. Building this relationship takes time, like building Rome. So invest that time, nurture that connection, and soon enough, you might just find yourself jumping the waiting list queue. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a solid relationship with a Rolex dealer. Tip number 3. Show your Rolex knowledge. Alright, here's the scoop. Knowing your Rolex can significantly up your chances of skipping the waiting list. You don't need to be a walking Rolex encyclopedia, but having a bit of know-how about the brand's history, its key models, and some technical details can work wonders. Not only will it give you plenty to chat about with your dealer, but it also shows that you're genuinely interested in Rolex and its legacy. This genuine interest can make you a top pick for the next Rolex sports model that rolls into the store. Oh, and here's a secret move. Find out when the deliveries are happening and time your visits to coincide with them. If luck's on your side and your sales rep is in a good mood, you might just walk out with that dream Rolex Daytona you've been eyeing. Tip 4. Stick to your decision. Now, here's a piece of advice. Make up your mind and stick to it. Don't flip-flop on which Rolex sports model you want. Doing so won't make the authorized dealer take you seriously. So do your homework, read blogs, watch YouTube videos, and decide on the Rolex that truly speaks to you. Having a clear story about why you want a specific watch and what it means to you can skyrocket you up the waiting list. It's all about commitment. Tip number 5. Have a shopping history. Guess what? Your shopping or purchasing history matters. It's a bonus if you've previously purchased from a Rolex authorized dealer, even if it's not a Rolex. Whether it's a Datejust or just a piece of jewelry, having a history with the dealer speaks volumes. Some say having a Datejust in your shopping past might boost your chances of landing a stainless steel sports model, but the truth is, it's not the only way. Many people can only afford one luxury watch in their lifetime, and Rolex dealers understand that. However, showing that you're a serious buyer, coupled with your genuine interest and a history of spending some cash, can significantly tip the scales in your favor. Now, for the really important, how can you beat the waiting list? Number 1. Exploring the pre-owned market. Consider purchasing a pre-owned Rolex from a reputable source. While it might not have the same allure as a brand new watch, it allows you to enter the world of Rolex ownership without enduring the waiting list. Number 2. Networking and trading. Join watch enthusiast forums, social media groups, or local watch clubs. Networking with fellow enthusiasts can lead to opportunities for trades or private sales, enabling you to acquire the Rolex watch you desire. Number 3. Traveling internationally. If feasible, explore authorized Rolex dealers in different countries, especially those with a lower demand for Rolex watches. Some international markets may have shorter waiting lists, giving you a better chance of securing your desired timepiece. Cracking the Rolex waiting list code requires a blend of patience, persistence, and strategic thinking. By understanding the intricacies of the waiting list system and exploring alternative avenues, you can increase your chances of becoming a proud Rolex owner. The journey is as valuable as the destination in the world.